my name is Jana Faulkner. I am a home cook from Englewood, Ohio. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to make for you my creamy Chipotle Tomatillo burritos. I'm going to start off by roasting my tomatillos. These are 4 medium tomatillos in my oven at 450 degrees. These take about 20 minutes to do. I'm going to turn them over at 10 minutes. I have a pound of ground beef in my skillet with about 1/2 to 3/4 of a medium-sized onion. Just going to brown this up. I use ground sirloin because it's going to be the lowest in fat content, so there's not going to be a lot of fat to drain off in the end. Just takes a few minutes. This is a good step to do while your tomatillos are roasting in your oven. My beef is almost all the way cooked through, and my onions are nice and clear, translucent and cooked. I'm going to just add a pinch of salt. Salt is very important to this dish. It actually does bring out the flavor of the meat and the tomatillos. I use a mixture of coarse sea salt and regular salt. I like the different textures. I'm also going to add a little bit of black pepper. This is the time now when I go ahead and add my rice. This is cooked rice. This will help to make that pound of beef go a little bit further than just plain beef by itself. This recipe has been in my family for a while. It's actually gone through several different changes. It started out as a roast that we roasted in a crock pot for 10 hours. My husband and I loved it so much. It started out as a roast with potatoes and carrots. Then we decided this would make great taco meat. So we left out the potatoes and carrots and started doing just the tacos and just the meat with the chipotle and tomatillos, shredding up the meat and making tacos out of it. Well, who has time to cook something for 10 hours every week when you really want tacos? So I came up with this idea, minus the rice and minus the cream cheese, just the beef and tomatillos, for a taco mixture. Well, we mutated it one more time when one night I got a little carried away and accidentally put too much tomatillos and too much chipotles in it, and it was just too acidic and just too spicy. I felt bad. I didn't want to throw away a whole pound of beef. So I kind of thought, how can I make this so that we can have this and not waste this meat? And I came up with the idea of adding the cream cheese. The cream cheese, the sweetness of it helps with the acidity of the tomatillos, and the cream from the cheese brings down the spiciness of the chipotle peppers, and it was a perfect marriage. It makes it so creamy and delicious, and then it just became a perfect burrito filling. This is exactly what you're looking for when you get these tomatillos out of the oven. You want them to see them brown, some breaking open, and this creamy sauce that comes out of them, juices. I'm just going to put them in my food processor. You can do this in a blender if you don't have a food processor. I just use my same. I'm adding some garlic. You can also roast your garlic with your tomatillos at the same time if you want to do a whole clove. Today I'm just going to go ahead and use pre-minced garlic. And I'm also going to put about a teaspoon of sugar. The sugar is there to help with the acidity of the tomatillos. A little bit more than that. All right. And now I'm just going to put the lid on here. Look at that. See that? How that's getting to be nice and blended? You want it to be a fairly smooth sauce. I'm just going to pour this straight into this beef mixture. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It smells delicious already. And we haven't even added the cheese. So I'm just going to cook this, blend this together. Raise up my heat here. Just stir this around until this rice and beef and the tomatillos and chipotles mix together. It's also a very versatile meat mixture. You can make anything with it. You can make burritos like we're making today. You can make quesadillas, tacos, tostadas, nachos, just about anything. It's so good. All right, so now that I have this all incorporated, I'm going to add my cheese. Philadelphia cream cheese. Gotta have the best. I'm gonna add this in little small batches. That helps it to incorporate a little bit easier with the meat. I also like to make sure that I soften it up so that you're not adding a cold cheese directly to the meat. You can see it as it melts into the meat. Oh, it's so good. A little bit larger chunk there. It's really easy to do. You just stir it around until it's fully incorporated. So good. All right, so now we're ready to stuff our burritos. They're really easy. All you need is a mixing cup or a little measuring cup. Take about 1/4 cup of the beef mixture. I have my flour tortillas right here. Just lay it out, just like that. Maybe a little bit more. And then just sprinkle on about a handful of cheese. Then you just roll up your burritos just like you normally would. Very easy. I'm going to lay them seam side down in a baking dish that I have sprayed with cooking spray. Like I was telling you, the nice thing about this mixture is that it is so versatile. I have a crazy sister that does not like rice. We use rice in ours. If you wanted to add beans instead, you could do that. Just add some black, like a can of drained black beans or something like that. It'd be really delicious. And we're ready to put these in the oven. These usually bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. You're just gonna let the flour tortilla shells brown and get a little bit crispy. That's really all you're looking for. The meat's already cooked through, so you don't really need a whole lot of baking. You're not baking the ingredients. All right, now I'm gonna make a simple cheese sauce while our burritos are in the oven. This is about as easy as it comes. It's just a cup of butter, I know, but it's so delicious. All right, now that our butter is almost melted, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my cheese. I'm just gonna add this about a handful at a time. You don't want to add all of your cheese at once. Just add about a handful at a time, stir it so it's fully incorporated and starting to melt, just like that. Now all of our cheese is added, and I'm just gonna incorporate our sour cream. This is about 8 ounces of sour cream. Stir that around. This gives the cheese sauce a really creamy texture. You want to make sure that you don't bring your pot to a boil. It should not boil. Once all the cheese and sour cream is incorporated together with the butter, which is almost there for me, I'm going to go ahead and add the green chilies. This just adds a little spiciness to the cheese mixture. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just kind of an extra little... In my family, that's a word. Just that easy. This is about 7 ounces of green chilies. Can you see that? See how that's getting to be incorporated? Oh, it's a great topping for your burritos. It's delicious on tacos, nachos. Sometimes I've made this with just chicken. It's great. Oh yes, this is exactly what you're looking for. Look how they're a little bit brown and crispy. Delicious. Now I'm gonna top them. We'll serve them and eat them. My burrito with our cheese sauce that we made, guacamole and salsa.